But you live and you learn, like I said, and the model is still working. So as you can see, the model worked every day. What didn't work was me. A lot of people blame their strategy. No, the problem is you. Your psychology is the problem. Your contradiction, your over trading. It's all a part of you, and you got to keep working on it. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, my name is Lewis, and I am just simply documenting my trading journey. Every week I post one of these videos where I go over all of the trades that I took this week and do kind of a back testing session with you so that we can both get better. Because if you don't want to become better as a trader, then I don't know what to tell you. Just leave the video now. That's all I can say. Apart from that, we're going to talk about everything that happened this week and, you know, how to become better at assessing your losses and using them as lessons instead of, you know, perceiving them in a bad way, because you can also perceive them in a very good way. Like I always say in all of my videos, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that share button. Send it to somebody who's also on their trading journey. Let me know down in the comments how your trading journey is going. Let me know how your trading week went. I want to know all that, so please leave it down in the description. We're going to talk about the sponsor of this video and my Discord, which will all be in the description as well. I don't like to talk too much in the beginning of the video. I like to leave it towards the end, and then we'll talk about everything in between. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's head straight into the sponsor of this video right now. All right, here we are in the sponsor of this video, which is Tektronix.com. If you're looking to build a quality PC with the best available parts in the market right now, this very moment, make sure you check out Tektronix.com. The link is down in the description. But what I always like to say is that just look at what they offer you whenever you pick a product. Obviously, you can see up here it says free shipping on all products. They also have a 1-year warranty, so make sure you take advantage of that. If you see right here, get 10% off using the code LVFLIP on your next purchase. And they also updated the Nova Strike collection. So let's take a look at both of those really quickly, and then we'll head into the rest of the video. As you can see, this is my favorite setup, the Futures setup LVFLIP, and they also have a pay in installments with Zip, as you can see here. And you can get away with this PC with only paying $317.50, of course with 4 payments. But if you scroll down, you'll see all the components inside the PC right here, and you'll even see their other setups if you keep going lower. If you want to add or subtract anything from the setup itself, just hit contact them, and if you go in here, you'll see how much your discount will save you if you use it at checkout. Now let's check out the Nova Strike collection really quickly. As you can see, you could head into their collections, and they have all their collections. This is obviously the trading one where all the trading setups that are associated with me are. But let's check out the Nova Strike gaming PCs, and as you can see, this is what it looks like. And you could obviously head in here and see all the components yourself. Yeah, you can see all the specs in here, and it works the same way. If you want to contact them and add or subtract anything, you can go ahead and check them out. The website is down in the description, and use my discount code at checkout. Now let's head over to the Discord and talk about that. Now here we are in the trading Discord. As you can see, link is down in the description. This is my free Discord, and this is just the free chat where we talk about literally anything when it comes to trading. We just throw out ideas in there. Where the real sauce is my premium chat, where my premium students are in and they're learning. One of my premium students is very close to passing his second funded account. He's already passed one before. If you want any testimonials, just head down into testimonials. If you want to join my premium and get access to all of these, and I'm going to continue to add more as the year progresses as well, and into the premium chats as well as the crypto and real estate, join the premium Discord. And if you want to do one-on-one coaching with me where I help you understand the markets and I even give you my personal model, hit the join premium, and my one-on-one prices are in there as well. All I'm going to say is anything that's really free is never really that valuable, but once you invest in yourself, you'll notice that it has a price for a certain reason, and you just have to have the guts to actually try it, check it out. You know, some people are out there just straight up scammers. To use your own discernment to really see who is who and which is which. All that I ask is that you read my testimonials and even come into the free chat and ask my students. But apart from that, let's head into the YouTube channel really quickly because I want to give you thanks. So here we are in the YouTube channel. Last video we hit 280. Now we're already at 290. So thank you so much for the amount of support that you've been showing on the YouTube channel and on Instagram. I think I just hit, let me just check really quickly. Right now I'm at 1658, about to hit 1660. So thank you so much for the amount of support on everything. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and subscribe here now that you are on the YouTube channel if you just want to become a better trader, and join me on these back testing sessions that I do every week. 33,000 views in the last 28 days. I couldn't be any more grateful. Thank you so much, and thank you to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, because it wouldn't be possible without him. But apart from that, that's everything that I have to say. Let's get into the juicy stuff and let's talk about what the week ended up looking like, and let's talk about the trades that I took and what I could and should have done better. All right, here we are. This is what the week ended up looking like. We ended up having a Monday high of week all the way down to a Wednesday low, and obviously we did not have a trading day on Friday because it was Good Friday. We can eliminate that, but these are some of the trades that I took. Some of them I had already had back tested, so that's the reason why they're showing on my screen like this. I'll tell you the ones that I did actually take and the ones that were just simply back tested, because I don't feel like lying, and I don't have to lie because that is just not who I am. I post all my losses on my Instagram, so please make sure you follow me on Instagram at LewisVisuals_, where you will see my live executions, win or loss. I post every day, and you will literally see. I'm not like one of these traders out there who have comments about everybody else who, for example, takes a loss, but they never post a losing trade. Like, we can see right through you, my brother. But apart from that, let's head into Monday, and then we'll talk about the rest of the trading week. All right, so on Monday, there are 2 trades here lined up, and these are the trades that I ended up taking. I took this trade, and this trade I took on demo because I had already lost my trades, but I didn't lose on this day. It was 2 break even, so I did a very good job protecting my capital, and my idea was very simple and very straightforward. I thought that this high right here was buy side liquidity. Obviously, once it got taken out, I waited till 10 a.m. to open. Once 10 a.m. opened, I was waiting for them to come inside of this 15-minute fair value gap and dump, and if they didn't dump, in the back of my head I had this 15-minute order block as the key level that they would come up to, and that's exactly what they did. But let's talk about the trade that I took, and then we'll talk about the trade that I should have taken, because all I had to do was just wait a little bit longer. And this is me just collecting more and more data on my model, because at the end of the day, people see them as losses, I see them as lessons. And you know, that could be very cliche, like, oh, you're just saying that because you lost. No, I am literally just collecting data. I might have been wrong here, but my model is still working 100% right there on this day. It was a perfect model. And if you know my model, if you're one of the people in my mentorship, you know exactly what it is. If you want to learn what this model is and you want me to teach it to you, you will find it in my one-on-one Discord. And like I said, I am working to perfect this model, so I am just going to continue to build my data, and then from there just take it very slowly. I don't have to worry about anybody else. I'm working on my own pace, and that is between me and God. I know that God is going to get me out of the situation where I don't trust my model, or for example, I'm over trading or something like that, because I am not waiting for my model to play out. Now it's just me building more repetitions while actually using the model, and then going from there. Let's talk about it really quickly on the trade that I took. So I took this trade right here, and it is live on my Instagram if you want to go see it. I ended up taking a break even here, right? So I take the short from here, and I have my stop above the order block, a little bit above the order block. I saw that they got close to it and never really tapped it, and then started to come lower. So I got in there, and I was targeting the low of Sunday. But as you can see here, this is my problem, right? They could have either came up to the order block right away or just stopped at the 15-minute fair value gap. That's why I took this trade. I had the idea of, like, if they stop at the 15-minute fair value gap, they're just gonna dump. But obviously they had other ideas. So as you can see here, I take this trade and I'm in some profit. I was in some very good profit, and then I noticed an SMT at the lows from 10.01, and I'll show you the SMT as well so that there is no confusion at all. As you can see right here, this low at 10.01 made a lower low on ES and made a higher low on NQ. As soon as I noticed that, I moved my stop to break even, if I'm not mistaken. You can see it in the video. If not, my apologies, but we started to move up. Once we started to move up, I took a long, like somewhere here up to the order block, and then it came back down on me, right? I had this idea consciously, but subconsciously after we had the SMT, I started to think, okay, what if now we even start moving up? That makes no sense. I should have kept my original ideas of either it's the 15-minute fair value gap that's the key level, or the order block itself. Obviously the order block itself was the actual key level, but I flipped my bias and contradicted myself here, taking a long into break even, then they come back down. Now the actual trade had started, and all I had to do was literally wait a couple more minutes, and I could have took this down. So after this happened, I took it on demo, and I think I took it here on demo, and this is when I really realized, like, okay, we had a breaker at the same time. We had a low, high, and then we closed below the breaker, come back up into it, and then start moving lower, all being above the 10 o'clock open. So it is the model, and it is working. All I had to do was just wait and keep my idea the same, and that is my problem, where I either understand exactly what the idea is, and I see one thing and contradict myself by looking for other information that will help the other side of the equation, or I'm just on the wrong side. So I'm trying to work on that specifically, just so that I'm not on the wrong side. But that was the trade that was supposed to be taken on Monday. Now let's move on to Tuesday. Here on Tuesday, I was on the completely wrong side. I thought price was going to head higher. Obviously they had other plans, but if you pay attention here, it makes a lot of sense, right? So at the open, we're already heading towards this high up here, right? So we take out this high, and then the 10 a.m. candle opens. The 10 a.m. candle opens, soups the previous previous candle high, creating this turtle soup up here, and then starts to make its way down. It was a very fast movement here at 10:15, and I know a lot of people that took the short, but the full movement wasn't done yet because the actual target was Monday's low. That was the draw on liquidity for that day. I was wrong. I was completely wrong, but this is the trade that I was supposed to take. As you can see, this is the up close candle that swept liquidity of the previous candle, and if we drag it out, boom, we have the model above the 10 o'clock open come into the order block, and then they start to dump. I took it on demo once again, but I didn't take it up here. I took it like here somewhere because I realized it later on that we were still bearish. So I was just on the wrong side on Tuesday, but the model is still working. As you can see, it's not very hard, it's not very difficult. It's just wait for the 10 o'clock open, wait for the liquidity to be taken out, key level to be hit, and then take the trade. So I'm continuing to just work on it, but that's literally what it is. It's not very difficult to, it doesn't have too many moving parts, but the problem is really realizing that every situation on every day is unique, and then coming in and treating it as it is unique. But you have to be on the right side. If you're on the wrong side, you're just gonna get destroyed. So I took a long, I remember exactly what happened. So let's go to the 1 minute real quick. That was the trade that I should have taken. Now let's look at what I did take, right? So I thought we were gonna go higher. So I saw us, so we had a low, high, lower, low, higher, high. After that, that would mean we would come back down to OTE. When we do come back down to OTE, which is here, you can see we tap OTE. So that's where I took my long. I took my long like right here, but I had my stop way too tight. You know, I could have made some money on this day and got out, but obviously this is just madness. So I rather it took me out and I didn't have to live through this madness just to be wrong than to, you know, what happened. But I took a long like here somewhere, and then I had my stop right here. My thought process was that, you know, we are below the CE of this wick, which is the halfway point. If they come down and take my stop out here, they're gonna go for this low. Obviously I was wrong. They did not do that, and they came and took me out and then started to move higher. So, you know, it is what it is. Then I noticed exactly what was happening later on, and like I said, I took the short like somewhere over here or over here. You know, it's part of the model, and I'm just gonna continue to work at it through the losses, through the lessons. I'm gonna continue to grow through the experience of taking these losses, because that's the only way that you really are able to grow. Everybody expects you to be this wonderful trader without taking a bunch of losses and gathering that data, and that's exactly what you have to do, is just keep gathering the data and then continue to grow as a trader. So this here, I was on the correct side, but the timing was wrong. I learned a lot on this day, and I can only break this down to my premium members, but you could see the type of risk that you could have taken on this day. To have a 44, almost 45 RR, you know, even with a couple contracts, let's say for example 3 contracts, you're risking $61 to make that much. I'm just saying, you know, RR is not important, but this is the type of trade that you could have taken on this day. Now what I did was I was taking shorts here. Once we tapped this up close candle here, I was taking shorts. So I'll show you on the 1 minute, because I took them on the 1 minute. I was taking shorts in here. So I took a short here once we tapped it, then got stopped out, and I'm like, okay, let me wait a little bit, and then I took another short once we started to move lower, and I was in profit here, but then they came down and reversed on me. Why? Because it was not time to take shorts yet, and what got me tight was that I noticed exactly what happened. So let's go back to the 15 minute, for example. Those who trade for real will understand this feeling, and seeing something and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do what I did? So right here, as you can see, this low is very significant. If you don't know why, do your own back testing and you will realize that, or join my premium Discord and my one-on-one, and I will explain it to you fully, because this is crazy. But as you can see, we ended up taking out that low. Now what is that low? What is that low? That is London liquidity low. So this is the London low that was taken out on NQ. Now let's just bring up the ES chart really quickly and take a look at it on the 15 minute, for example. Now here we are on ES, and you can see that the same low right here was not even tapped on NQ, meaning bullish SMT. Does that mean that we're bullish overall? No, that means that price is just gonna move up. That it did. A lot of people took longs right here, and I think that that's what I should have done. Even though I was long-term bearish bias in that moment, this was the manipulation leg, and I should have realized that. A lot of people traded this move thinking this was the expansion, but in reality this was the manipulation and this was the expansion. That's where I messed up, taking a short in here. Once we had the SMT at this low, which is a very significant low, I should have took a long up to these highs. Why? Because that is liquidity. If you look on your chart, please go back and look at your chart and figure out what liquidity this is. Very important level. They go up, swoop that level, and then start to move down instantly. You didn't even have to take this entry up here. You could have waited for the confirmation, which was the change of state of delivery here, and then them coming back into this 15-minute fair value gap and then dropping down to the draw on liquidity, which was the low from Friday. All I'm saying is that this is crazy, and I learned so much from this day, even though I took a loss. You have to be honest with yourself. Yes, I took a loss on this day, but does the model still work? 10 o'clock open, they manipulate above the 10 o'clock open, tap a key level, taking out liquidity, and then just end up dumping. Perfect execution of the model. Is just I am not very experienced with the model yet, so I'm just going to continue to use it. I'm going to continue to try to figure it out and make it better, make it my own, and make it to where I understand it. Even if I don't catch the full move, I could have caught the move right here, got it in there, and then caught a lot of the move lower. And I think that's what I did on demo as well. I think I got in here instead of getting up here. But going back and back testing it with my students, I broke it down with one of my students. I had a call with him on Wednesday after this happened, and we went back and we were breaking it down, like, let's see what really ended up happening. And then we came up to this, and I learned so much just from this key level being hit at that time. I was like, yeah, this is new. This is something that I didn't know before, and I'm going to implement it into my database. So it is what it is. We live and we learn, but trust me, this was amazing. And then let's move on to Thursday, which was the last trading day of the week. This is the trade that I took. Now, what happened during this day? I moved to break even and it took me out, right? So sometimes when you use the model, for example, you can't move to break even too quickly, because especially if the idea is on the higher time frame, you start to notice that you need to let your trade have some breathing room. So they came down and they took me out in some profit, so I ended up winning a little bit, but the whole move didn't play out. Why? And I would have honestly fully took out profits right here at this level, and it would have been a 3.5 RR, because ES reached its target. So when ES reached its target, one of my students actually took the trade, and I told him, I didn't tell him until after, because I wanted to see if he would figure it out himself. He did not end up figuring it out, so they ended up dumping and he ended up losing. While he was in, like, he was up like $600, ended up losing like 500 because he wasn't paying attention to his chart. But I told him the next day we're basically closed. We were getting close to the last power hour. You know, there's always a big move in the power hour. If it's either consolidates or just big move. So I saw the big SMT, which was this buy side level. ES hit this buy side level. NQ's not even close. I knew it was gonna dump, and I was hoping that he had the foresight to see that coming, and it just ended up being that he didn't. But he learned from it, because I ended up explaining it to him after, and he was like, you know what, you're 100% right. That's why it happened. And let's just look at ES really quickly, because it did happen on ES. As you can see here, ES was a lot more clean than NQ, but if you can see, ES ended up hitting this level. NQ did not even get up to it, and I was bullish. I was anticipating price to come into this breaker right here. It went below the breaker a little bit, but the bodies are still kind of respecting the breaker in itself. But it came down to this breaker and then started to move up. So as you can see, the same trade on ES, it just ended up completing, and ES was a lot cleaner. Even though it was choppy, it was a lot cleaner than here on NQ. But let's take a look into the entry itself, and it was just a 1 minute breaker. Yeah, it was a unicorn model. Really, we take out the key level, keep going lower to entice people to continue taking shorts, and I took a short prematurely here. But what is the difference between when this happened here to this? Is actually waiting for the confirmation and waiting for closures above the breaker. So I was anticipating us to this candle close above, so I took a short like here. They came down and destroyed me. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait. They then ended up coming lower and then ended up doing this. I'm like, it looks like they could go. Then they came back down again, swept liquidity one last time, and then closed above, exploded above, leaving a fair value gap and a breaker. This is the breaker right here. So they go up, as you can see, bring it down, and you'll get the OTE entry. There it is. You get OTE entry, which is typical of a breaker. So all I really have to do is wait for my confirmation on the reversal. If I'm taking a reversal entry, if I'm taking a continuation, that is a different style of the model, but as you can see, it ended up playing out. So I got stopped out here when this came back lower, but I wasn't a lot of profit, and I was very close to taking profits, because I was going to take first profits here and let the rest run. But after I saw the SMT, I was like, I would have took profits, all profits above that level, and then just call it a day, because that would have been a very good trade. I took it with 3 contracts and I would have made 1100, you know, risking 315, which is not a horrible trade. It's a very good trade. So that is what ended up happening, and it all happened below the 10 o'clock opening price. So remember, I was bullish, so I was anticipating price to move up for the session, and that is what it did. This was a full manipulation leg, and then boom. And let's see what happens with the last leg of manipulation as well. So let's see if the projections end up being correct. And you know, they did get up to the 3.5 level, which is either the -2, -2.5, or the 3.5 level are the levels where price tends to reverse from, and that's exactly what it did. And it was good on this day. Honestly, I took the trade, and I should have took profits here and then let the rest do whatever it wanted to until the end of the day. Even if I left it at break even, I had it above break even a little bit and it went up, but I should have kept it below here and let it run, because the trade would have hit. But you live and you learn, like I said, and the model is still working. So as you can see, the model worked every day. What didn't work was me. A lot of people blame their strategy. No, the problem is you. Your psychology is the problem, and your contradiction, your over trading. It's all a part of you, and you got to keep working on it. So I'm going to continue to try to master the strategy, but at the end of the day, I have to work on myself to be able to let these trades play out and wait for the correct moment to actually enter the trades themselves. That's basically it. We had a very short week this week, and I've talked about everything that I should have done, what I did do. I hope you guys found some value in this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, and share with a friend who is also on their trading journey. Don't forget to check out Tektronix.com and use my discount code LVFLIP for 10% off at your checkout. Thank you so much for the amount of support on all the social medias. I am truly grateful, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Follow me on Instagram at LewisVisuals_ to see my live executions. I have a announcement coming up very soon, so make sure you follow me on that. Join my Discord, link is down in the description. All I ask is that you're active in the free chat if you are joining the free chat. If you want to join my premium or my one-on-one services, it is all down in the description inside of my Discord. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram and we can get it popping. Apart from that, I am extremely grateful that you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.